The U.S. government, through its development agency, United States Agency for International Development, USAID, provides about $1 billion to Uganda annually. This is about 3.6 trillion Ugandan shillings in form of aid, which has been on a rising trajectory. However, new U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered a pause following a call for an audit of all foreign funding in the U.S. According to health policy analyst Dr. Ekwaro Obuku, President Trump has misfired on the aid freeze.
I think the United States government is not honest if they want to be efficient. The bulk of the budget where there is inefficiency is the wars. That's where there is real inefficiency. If you look at the expense in Ukraine, you look at the expense in what they give Israel, even if you look back, because that cuts across regimes, in Iraq, they were constructing toilets, public toilets at enormous, cost because of the war situation. So that's where the government can make what we call substantial change if we go by the Pareto rule of 20% of the problem causing 80% of it.
Dr. Obuku says the impact will be felt hard here in Uganda, where American money has been covering up in many areas, including hiring and paying health workers.
So salaries and services due to human capital. We are looking at commodities, ARVs, okay? But perhaps these are some of those which are retained. I'm not too sure what is retained. But ARVs, largely sponsored by U.S. government. TB medicines, to some extent malaria drugs, okay? Laboratory testing, and the logistics which go with it.
However, the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, says they will continue to provide health services despite the freeze on funds. Dr. Atwine also assured the public that they have enough refills for drugs like antiretroviral drugs for those on HIV/AIDS treatment.
We still have drugs. We have stocks actually in the country. It's not that when they announced all of a sudden the medicines disappeared. No, we had drugs in NMS. It is full of ARVs and even in GMS. We will continue to conduct our activities as usual. What I know that maybe some of the staff that were being supported will not be there, but then we are going to rearrange.
Both Atwine and Obuku nonetheless believe it is high time for government to prioritize funding to health.
That's what we are going to do. But it is us now to do the analysis and see what activities can be managed. We've been talking about integration. We've been talking about integration, and I am glad now my people are beginning to understand that what I was predicting has come to pass, that we must be frugal, we must use resources properly, and we must cut out wastages.
The freeze is expected to disproportionately affect Uganda's most vulnerable populations, including refugees, rural farmers, and low-income families. Critical projects like health, food security, and education are at risk of stalling, leaving millions without essential services. Walter Mwesigye, NTV.